Hi everyone, it's Michelle here from the 30-day One Simple Change Challenge, and it's lovely to connect with you today, wherever you are in the world. So yesterday, I missed a day. I actually wasn't on Facebook yesterday. I had two fantastic laughter yoga sessions, one in the morning and then one in the evening. And between that and just, you know yourself, when you're a mummy, there's always things to do. So I took a bit of a break from social media yesterday, but I'm back today and I'm just after doing another laughter yoga session. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to record today's video for today's One Simple Change Challenge. So the last day we spoke about the unconscious mind and how incredibly powerful the unconscious mind is. And today what I really wanted to talk to you about was a model that is really very, very powerful. And if you can imagine a triangle, and at the top of the triangle is your thoughts. This is a cognitive behavioral model, and it's one that we would use, well, it's one that I use in all of my programs, to be honest, because it's just really so powerful. And I think everybody should know this model, because you can use it in your everyday life and it can really, really help identify any behaviours that are perhaps not serving you any good, any negative behaviours, or perhaps any habits or addictions that you would like to dissolve. And it also helps you identify the negative automatic thoughts that we've spoken about as well. And there's also a link, and I'm going to talk a wee bit about that today, and that is our feelings, because how you feel is crucial to how much your life is positive, really. If you're waking up in the morning and you're feeling good, your days tend to go really well. If you wake up in the morning and you're not feeling good, you know, everything tends to go in against you, or it certainly feels that way. So I'm going to talk a wee bit about that, because it's really crucial. It's really, really important to living a good life, a really good life. So if you can imagine the pyramid, and at the very top of this pyramid we've got our thoughts. So we know that we think on average between 50 and 80,000 thoughts a day. It's a lot of thoughts. We've already spoke about our negative automatic thoughts, and we've also spoken about affirmations and how powerful affirmations are. So the words that we say to ourselves are incredibly powerful. The reason that they're so crucial, that thoughts are so crucial, is because every single thought that we think in our mind creates, and I'm touching my tummy here, creates a feeling. So every single thought that you think creates a feeling, and I'm touching my tummy because we know that our tummies are the home to our feelings. That's why we say, I get a gut feeling. It's in your tummy. So your tummy is the home to all of your excited feelings, your happy feelings, your joyful feelings, and like that, your nervous, your anxiety, your insecure feelings, we feel them in our tummies. That's why some kids say, oh, I feel a wee bit sick, my tummy feels a bit funny. The chances are what they're trying to, and it could be a tummy bug, but if we delve deeper, sometimes it's more than that. It can be uncomfortable, unsettling, unpleasant feelings. So I'm going to say this again. Every thought that we think creates a feeling. There's somebody going past with with trolleys. You can tell I'm getting some groceries on my way back home here. But anyway, we'll just keep it real. So every thought that we think creates a feeling in our tummy. And what happens then is that feeling then creates a behavior, or an action, or a decision. So, and you know yourself, if you feel really good, you're going to make really good decisions for yourself. If you're not feeling very good, the chances are you're not going to make the best decisions for yourself. So this is the link. So the thought creates a feeling in your tummy, and the feeling then creates a behavior. So I'm going to use the example that I use in my programs. That's a very, very basic example, but it's one that I think all of us can kind of get this whole circle and how, well, not circle, triangle, but it can be a vicious circle because it continues. There's no giving up in it, if you like. And it doesn't matter where you're from, the colour of your skin, your race, your religion, the country you were born into, the family that you were raised in. It doesn't matter. This cognitive behavioural model it applies to absolutely everybody in the world. We are all the same to varying degrees. So a prime example is you're lying in bed at night. I'll give you an example of this model. You're lying in bed at night and you're on your own. You're in the house and you're on your own. You hear a noise outside and you think to yourself, oh my goodness, that's a burglar. The house is getting burgled. Because sometimes we think irrational thoughts, don't we? The house is getting burgled. Oh my God. That creates a feeling. That the feeling from the thought is fear. The feeling is you're feeling scared, petrified, nervous, anxious, and then that feeling creates a behaviour, and the behaviour might be that you don't sleep that whole night, that you freeze with pure fear in the bed and you don't move and you don't sleep. What happens then is the alarm goes off the next morning. You think to yourself, you just got to sleep before your alarm goes off. You think to yourself, oh God, I didn't sleep all last night. Oh, and then you feel really tired, and then you might hit snooze. You might not have time for breakfast, and then you go into your next day, and you're because of what had happened the night before, you're feeling tired, lethargic, your relationships are affected, you're perhaps more irritable, your patience, your tolerance isn't really what it usually is, and your whole day, your whole mood, etc. is affected by this. So say the same thing happens, you're lying in bed, you hear a noise outside, and you think to yourself, you think an irrational thought, and you think, oh my God, it's a burglar, the house is getting burgled. And then you catch the thought. Remember the 3 C's that we spoke about? You catch the thought, you take control of the thought, and you notice that it's really not helping you in this moment. That those types of thoughts aren't going to help you in this moment. So you change it to something more positive, like, okay, it might be a burglar, but it might not. It might be the cat or the dog that's knocked the bin over that's created this big noise. And because you've told yourself that, then any feelings of anxiety or fear are dissolved, and now you kind of feel more settled. So much so that the behaviour might be that you get out of bed, you look outside, and lo and behold, it's the cat or the dog, it's the wind has knocked the fence over or something. And because you've taken control of your thoughts, you felt more settled, and you took positive action. And then what happens is you get into your bed and you fall back to sleep, and you've a restful night's sleep. Your alarm goes off in the morning, you get up, you feel good, and you have a great day. The difference in those 24 hours is a thought. That's the only difference. And that's one basic example. You know, we could really use lots and lots and lots of examples on how this works. So, as I always say, a thought is only a thought, and a thought can be changed. And every thought you think is creating a feeling. And every feeling that you have creates a behaviour, a decision, or an action. So a thought can be changed, an action and a behaviour can be dissolved, but the feeling cannot. So I'm going to say that again because it's really crucial, because lots of people think, oh yeah, you can change your feeling, change your feeling, change your feeling, change your feeling. You can change your thoughts and how you're thinking about the feeling. You can change your behaviour and dissolve your behaviour. But what we really don't want to do is to stuff the feeling down and disregard the feeling and pretend that the feeling isn't there. Because if we stuff our feelings down, if you imagine our feelings a bit like a beach ball, And if you take all of the unpleasant, uncomfortable feelings that you have and you stuff them away down as best you can like a beach ball. So say you've got a sad beach ball, a lonely beach ball, an anxious beach ball, a depressed beach ball, a frustrated beach ball, an annoyed beach ball. So you've got all of these beach balls and you're pushing them down, you're trying to keep them in bed, keep them in bed. And I'm going to talk about how we do that, because we do that in lots and lots and lots of different ways. We push them all down to the bottom of the pool. Inevitably what happens is, as soon as we walk away, as soon as we step away, not only is it exhausting to keep them all down, really exhausting, but when we step away, what happens is all of the beach balls bloop, 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 come back up to the surface. Come back up to the surface. And that, my friends, is how we manifest dis-ease within the body. So Louise L. Hay, one of my greatest teachers, talks about disease, and she splits it into two words: dis-ease. So dis-ease is when there is emotional dis-ease within the body. So our emotional well-being and our feelings are so important, and it's crucial that we don't stuff them down like beach balls and pretend that they're not there when they really are. I spoke about the 3 C's, about our thoughts. So the catch, control, and change. It's the same with our behaviour. We can use that model, the 3 C's on our behaviour. The catch, control, and change. When it comes to our feelings, I would add in a 4th C. And this is the thing that a lot of us don't do, because those unpleasant feelings and emotions scare us. And as human beings, we like to move away from pain, and we like to push and move towards pleasure. So as humans, we naturally want to move away from pain and move towards pleasure. But we can only do that for so long. As I say, the beach balls, the feelings, the unpleasant ones, if we don't deal with them, they will keep coming up to the surface. So the 4th C that I would add to the 3 C's is curiosity. This is with our feelings. Curiosity. Get curious about why you feel the way you feel. And it's only when we become curious, like a child. If you look at children are so curious, aren't they? They're curious about everything because everything's so new to them and they love to explore. So be childlike with your feelings. Be curious with your feelings. And if an unpleasant feeling comes up, notice it and go, right, okay, that's interesting. Okay, I'm feeling a wee bit anxious. On a scale of 1 to 10, at what stage are you at in terms of the feeling? How overwhelming is the feeling? And I always find that when you scale things and when you actually label it as well, it helps with the settling and the soothing of the self in that moment. But as a society, we place far too much emphasis on things rather than feelings. We place far too much emphasis on achievements rather than emotional well-being. We place far too much emphasis on IQ rather than EQ, our emotional intelligence. So our emotions are crucial and our feelings are crucial. I'm conscious of the time. This is definitely the longest video, and I'm going to touch and I'm going to talk more about that. And I would just like to close by saying thank you so much to everyone that has sent me a private message on Facebook. I've been really overwhelmed with messages, and thank you. It's just been so lovely to hear the feedback and to know that the videos that I'm doing are helping, and it's really heartwarming to hear that. So thank you so much. What I have been saying to those people that have sent me private messages, I've actually been asking them, is there anything that perhaps you would like help with that I could do a video on? So like a question and answering kind of session. And at the minute I'm in the process of collating a list of questions that people have, and I have to say they're all very, very similar. What people are asking are all very similar things, because we're all the same. We're all the same. So I'm going to close by saying, if you please feel free to send me a private message if you've any questions that you would like me to discuss on this 30-day challenge. I'm more than happy to do it, and obviously it'll be completely anonymous and confidential. So today's one simple change challenge is to be aware of the pyramid. Your thoughts at the top. Your thought creates a feeling in your tummy, and that feeling then creates a behaviour whereby you make a decision or you take an action. And to remember now to add in the fourth C, the catch, control, change for your thoughts and your behaviour. And the fourth is curious. Get curious about your feelings. And I'm going to talk more about how to soothe yourself when you are feeling unsettled, perhaps anxious, perhaps lonely, depressed, uncertain, and maybe even disappointed, or you're feeling let down. So I'm going to touch on all of those. Those really have been key questions that people have been asking me about, and are I suppose seeking out some support and guidance. So it's been really, really lovely talking to you today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your feedback. And until tomorrow, I wish you the very best. Have a great day. All the best. Bye.